Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the likes on this video. Subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV if you haven't done so already, and make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. And in today's video, we're going to be looking ahead to Real Madrid versus Chelsea in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final at the Bernabeu in Spain, taking place next week. Chelsea heading there, not in the best of form, with Graham Potter removed from his position. And Kev, the first thing, mate, we've got to discuss is it looks like that Chelsea legend Frank Lampard will be in interim charge for the remainder of the season, just waiting for that to be confirmed at the time of recording. But it looks like Frank Lampard is going to be that guy who will be leading Chelsea to the Bernabeu next week, where he'll be going up against former Chelsea manager and his old manager as well, Carlo Ancelotti. How much of a boost do you think this could be for Chelsea for this Champions League tie? Because let's be honest, we've not had an awful lot to shout about this season. But Frank Lampard returning could give us the boost that the players need, the fans need. And it certainly increases our chances, I suppose, as opposed to having Bruno in the dugout for that game. But first of all, mate, what are your thoughts on Lampard coming back on an interim basis, all but confirmed?
It's just a hell of a ride. just keep strapped in. The ride never stops for Chelsea. 1 minute we win the Champions League, next minute we sack the manager, next minute we're in the quarter final of the Champions League. It's just everything's like that. Roller coaster of events. Just hearing the news coming in. I wasn't really keen about it yesterday when I seen Lampard weighing it all up, and all of a sudden now he looks like he's going to take the helm. It can't get worse than what we've seen in the last 5 months. Lampard is a legend. I'm sure he'll have Terry with him as well. So Lampard and Terry, two absolute greats at the club. Hopefully they can bring back, even if we're not winning games, just bring a bit of happiness back to us at the moment, and a bit of stability and a bit of, charisma. They know the club, they love the club, they love the fans. With Potter, it's just like a broken record every week. I'm sure Lampard and Terry, they'll be a bit more honest in their, assessments of the games, and just hopefully they can, bring a smile to our faces all once. We know that it's not going to be a long time thing for Lampard in charge, but I'm sure, he can tick all the boxes till the end of the season and maybe get himself another job till the end of the season. He knows he could come in and he could do well and get the job full-time. But we know from the last 2 jobs he's had, it's not going to work that way. But you never know. You never know.
No, you never know. And it's certainly an unexpected turn-up for the books. I don't think any Chelsea fans, if you said to Chelsea fans this season that we would have started the season with Thomas Tuchel, then we would have had Graham Potter, and then we would have finished it with Frank Lampard in charge, you'd just be like, nah, what sort of dream? What are you on like that? When you put it like that, it's like, it's an absolute madness. Like, it could only be Chelsea where something like that could happen. But obviously Lampard should be in place for that Real Madrid game. Kev, we're going into it. Champions League is something where Chelsea, the 2 times we've won it, we've not been fancied or favourites at all. We've not had the best form in the league. We're entering this Madrid clash in similar circumstances. We've sacked a manager, well, not really mid-season, kind of more towards the end of the season. We've got kind of a club legend coming in, like we did with Di Matteo, Lampard coming in. Surely number 3 is not going to happen. But I mean, never say never with football, never say never with the Champions League and Chelsea. But how do you think Chelsea's chances are going to improve in this game now that Lampard's in charge? Do you think that improves our chances at all?
Yeah. I don't even think it's down to Lampard. I just think it's down to the squad and how we go into just the mentality of us going to the game. And we've got to have the right plan. I think with Kante coming back, I think that's 75% of the reason why we could do well. And obviously, if Lampard can get us enthusiastic and he can set up a game plan just to sit and just try and hold the game out till we get back to the bridge, I'm sure if that happens, and if we can go to Madrid next week, and if Lampard can lift the spirits a bit and come up with a tactical plan, and we come back to the bridge safe, it was even 2-1 to Madrid, 3-1 to Madrid, and we come back to the bridge, you've always got a chance, But tactically, it's coming up against some brilliant managers to even have a chance. He's going to have Ancelotti in the next round and potentially Tuchel or Pep in the next one. So being realistic, it's not going to happen. But I think out of all the times we've won the Champions League, this will probably be the biggest one where
Yeah.
literally, especially, yeah.
It's the perfect story, mate. Like, former player who lifted the Champions League for the first time in the club's history to then come back and kind of save the season and lift number 3 would be one of the best, one of the greatest stories in football, and probably the greatest story in Chelsea's history for sure. But let's get a little bit more into the game, mate. More kind of tactical side of things. Obviously, we've seen that during Tuchel's time we deployed the back 3. Predominantly under Potter, we deployed the back 3, having deviated away from the back 4. With Lampard, do you think, obviously, with such few games to be in charge of, can you see him just sticking with that? Do you expect him to go to a 4? I mean, it probably means that Mason Mount, who we know that Frank Lampard's a big fan of and featured heavily under him, think that perhaps maybe the likes of Mason Mount are going to get a massive run in the side for the end of the season. I mean, what sort of personnel and tactical changes do you see Lampard making to the kind of the current setup we've got?
He's got to go with the 5. You can't change it. Personally, with a 4-3-3, which Lampard likes to play, and I think it would suit us going forward. We need a holding midfielder, and okay, people say we've got Kante coming back, but he's not exactly a holding midfielder. He's more of a box-to-box. So I think in that element, I think we need to stick with the 5-3-2. With Mount, I'm sure he's going to get a run now. I feel really, really bad for the guy. We can't do this to a guy who's done so much for us. Okay, his performances haven't been up to scratch, but under Lampard, we know he's going to get a confidence, but you know he's going to get a run. Hopefully, we keep him, because at the end of the day, he's done so much for us. 2 seasons in a row, he's got Player of the Year. You can't just lose your confidence in your player like that. Obviously, it was down to the manager. So I think if Lampard could bring him in, maybe in a 3 in the midfield, Kovacic has been pretty dire, in the middle at the moment. Maybe we could have Enzo one side, Kante there, and Mount there, and a Felix and Aubameyang up top. Maybe,
Well, we can't have Aubameyang, can we? Because he's not registered in the squads. Yeah, so it'll probably have to be Havertz and Mudryk probably, or maybe the experience of Sterling now that he's fit again as well. So there are a few options. There are a few options at the top end of the pitch, but in terms of defensively, I mean, how big a plus? I mean, we don't know if Thiago Silva is going to be back for this game or not. I mean, he's not featured recently. I mean, realistically, if he was going to play in the Bernabeu, he's going to kind of have to feature pretty soon. If that's going to happen, I mean, how much of a blow do you think it would be going into the Madrid, the first leg, with no Silva? Because we've seen he's been our rock at the back. Yes, we've done okay defensively with the likes of Koulibaly, Badia, Shil, Fofana, Cucurella filling in there, but none of them are Thiago Silva. It would be a big blow.
Massive blow. And Cucurella and Koulibaly, that partnership, mate, scares me going into the Bernabeu. Literally, they've got no, with the centre-back partnership, I've seen Terry and Carvalho, and one needs to come forward, one needs to drop off, and it was just like that. With them, they're both going for the same ball and leaving space in behind. Well, like we said against Aston Villa, Koulibaly going for the ball and Cucurella going in front of him. They've got no partnership, no chemistry. So if we are going to win the game, we need Kante in full form, and we need Silva in the middle of that 3. Maybe Fofana to the right, and a Chalobah, or I'll probably go Chalobah. I'll probably go Silva, Chalobah on the right, and Fofana there. Because I don't know what's going on with Trev, but he needs to be back in the team. I don't know what Potter's done to him. It's just been. Well, last year we've got to remember, he never lost the Premier League game until this season, and now he's completely out the mix. So bring him back. I'm sure he'll be back in the fold. So let's bring him back and let's try and I don't feel comfortable with Koulibaly and Cucurella. So he'd definitely be a change for me.
Just going to take this moment to talk about the sponsors of this video. This video today is sponsored by Midnight.
Midnight offers sports and esports betting.
And you can reach them instantly on their Discord server and join in the very active discussions with a number of users offering you some great esports and betting tips as well. If you want to download Midnight, guys, you can head over to the Apple App Store or go to the website midnight.com. That's Midnight spelled MIDNITE. A great feature on Midnight is the Bet Builder, one that you might want to use. To access the Bet Builder, guys, go to a single match page for football where you will see the Bet Builder toggle at the top. Guys, there's currently got a great registration offer going where if you bet £10, you get £20. The link will be in the description, so make sure you check it out, and you don't want to miss out on this great offer they've got. So make sure you download the Midnight app from the Apple App Store or visit the Midnight website at midnight.com. And guys, remember, over 18s only, terms and conditions apply, and begambleaware.com. Kev, you were talking about the back line there. Obviously, we've been pretty defensively solid this season. The attack's not been the best. We've been found wanting a number of times in front of goal. We're not scoring too many goals at all. Obviously, we desperately need goals in this tie if we're going to go through, although we could have 2-0 and chance our luck on penalties. But, I mean, for you, we've seen Mykhailo Mudryk in the Champions League playing for Shakhtar Donetsk in the group stage. He got a standing ovation from the Bernabeu crowd for his performance for Shakhtar in that game. He's kind of been in and out of the side at Chelsea. He's caused Madrid problems previously. They'll obviously be a bit more aware of him now, but I think we could really cause damage running at that Madrid defence, where obviously Ferland Mendy is out of the first leg, I believe, at fullback. Carvajal's aging, so there's definitely a place for him to exploit that situation. I mean, how important is it that we kind of make the best use of him?
I just think we need to find on the Potter. He's not had the consistency of games. He's not had the confidence. You know, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. You play a decent game against Leicester, get an assist, and then the next game you don't even get a minute. So what does that do for anyone's confidence, knowing that 1 minute here, 1 minute there, and also he's literally been in the Ukraine. The Ukrainian league starts earlier than us. So this is his pre-season. So I think now Lampard just needs to give him the confidence. Give him the confidence. Like you said, against Celtic as well, and Real Madrid in the group stages, he was brilliant. Against Celtic, I seen highlights of the game. He absolutely run the show. So if we can get him confident and flying like he is, maybe we can have Felix and Mudryk up top, and then we have Kante, Enzo, and Cover in the middle, and then with the back four, Chilwell and James. I think what we need to do is just hold the game out. All we need to do is just sit. I don't care how boring it is. Get 11 men behind the ball, and then when they come in at us to try and hit the channels, try and get Mudryk's pace, Felix's pace there, and try and get them up there. That's the only way I can see us really getting anything. And then obviously, like I said, even if it's 2-1, if we can get the atmosphere like against Dortmund, we've always got a chance of bringing it back. But probably all right. I think Mudryk and Felix up top could be the ones for us in the Bernabeu, yeah.
No, certainly. I mean, just briefly to round this one out, mate, very quickly. Madrid have obviously got unbelievable history in the Champions League. They seem to come alive in that tournament. Their run to the trophy last season was something very special. Got former manager Carlo Ancelotti in charge. Knows his way around the Champions League. Just quickly, mate, what Madrid players do you think Chelsea need to be aware of? I mean, there's the obvious ones in Vinicius, Benzema, to name a few. Valverde's very good in midfield. Luka Modric is still doing a madness at 37 years of age. Who would be the guys that, to look out for from your perspective?
Vinicius Junior and Benzema are definitely the players that we need to stop. Obviously, he's stopping the midfield as well. The midfield's brilliant. You got Modric, who's just phenomenal still. He's just aging like fine wine. And you got Camavinga, he's come to light this season. And you've also got that
Tchouaméni.
Yeah, couldn't put that. I said the name, I couldn't pronounce it. Tchouaméni. So them three in the middle. And you've got Cruz as well that can do a number. So it's going to be difficult. But for me, we are going to have to do a job on Benzema. Last season, he was the difference between in the two ties last season. He was the difference. Just his finishing in the box. If we got to get close to, we've got to get him out of the game. And I think if we can try and get them on a counter, you know, that's the only way we're going to win. I think Rudiger, you know, it's going to be difficult to break down the defense as well. Their defense is pretty solid. You know, Alaba, Rudiger, Militao, they've got quality all through the squad. But if we can stick to our game plan, just getting them on the counter, Bernabeu, and then when we come back, just try and be enthusiastic, just try and get in the faces, just try and match them up. Because at the end of the day, it was only 2 seasons when we beat them last time. So goes show that we can beat them. We beat them last season 3-2 as well. So we can beat them, but it just depends on the tactical plan, which Tuchel got to a T last year.
Yeah, that is going to be the key. And as you touched on, mate, it's absolutely vital that we get back to the second leg with trailing by no more than 1 goal if we were to lose. That's going to be key. Just to round this one out, mate, very quickly, score prediction for the first leg. What are you saying?
With Lampard or without Lampard?
No, with Lampard.
With Lampard. With Lampard. If Lampard sticks and he plays so far at the back, I can see it being a 3-1. 3-1.
Oh, fair, right.
Yeah. If he goes with a 4, I can see it probably being a 4-0.
I'm going to go... No, I don't have the most confidence. More confidence now that it's most likely going to be Lampard in charge. But if I'm being realistic, I suspect we'll probably, in a best case scenario, I'm going to be positive. I say we're going to lose this one 2-1. But let's see what happens. It's certainly going to be a massive game at the Bernabeu. Plenty of quality on show. Lampard against Ancelotti. Let's see what happens. Guys, thanks for tuning into this video. Again, smash the likes on the video. Subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV if you haven't done so already. And make sure you leave your comments below. And we'll catch you again soon.